Assalamu alaikum. Before I start this episode, we need to ask you for a little help. We have set up a Patreon page to give you the chance to support Muslim convert stories. With your help, we can keep this channel growing and continue to offer you original content at the high standards we have set ourselves. The link is in the description. Now, back to the topic. Every Muslim knows several, if not dozens, who chose to convert to Islam as a young adult or even later in life. According to Pew Research, 67% of all converts to Islam in the US came from Protestant churches, 10% came from Catholicism, and just 5% from other religions. Nearly 1 in 7 converts to Islam had no religion before their conversion. Not too long ago, an old friend, let's name her Mariam, called me and dropped the hammer. I've been doing a lot of thinking and I've decided to convert to Islam. Where do I begin? Mariam's call caught me off guard. Raised in a Catholic environment, Mariam's family was conservative and had little experience with Islam outside of news pundits and the media. As a practicing Muslim who's made the conscious choice to follow Islam, I figured I'd been down a road Mariam was looking to begin travelling, so if you find yourself on a journey similar to Mariam's, then here are 4 questions you should ask yourself before accepting Islam. 1. Have I thoroughly researched other faiths? You must be asking, what does studying other faiths have to do with Islam? In a word, everything. You're already on a journey to learn more about God. One of Islam's 6 articles of faith is belief in all of God's prophets. So from Adam to Zoroaster, it is important to study the various faiths. My friend Mariam will tell you what she and many experience while studying different faiths. First, all these faiths have much more in common than differences. And second, Islam has created a system to truly unite humanity as it teaches its adherents to accept all these prophets of God. Before accepting Islam, make sure you study as many different faiths as you can. That way, if you ultimately decide to accept Islam, you will have done so after experiencing various world views, rather than studying them later as a mere thinking exercise. 2. Have I prepared for the possible family and social backlash? This was a reality for Mariam and is for many who accept Islam. And that doesn't even account for the millions spent to promote Islamophobia to deter people from studying Islam in the first place. Some find their families actually welcome their choice, and others not so much. Some see their family research Islam for themselves to learn more, and others see family members become Google scholars to find all sorts of anti-Islam propaganda written by extremists and Islamophobes. Be ready for whatever comes, good and bad. No one said it would be easy, just that it would be worth it. 3. Am I ready for the new lifestyle? Islam is in fact a way of life. Every Muslim has 2 fundamental and equally important obligations, faith and work, both repeatedly mentioned in the Quran. Every Muslim has their duty towards God and their duty towards humanity. A Muslim is responsible to live a lifestyle upholding both obligations. The duty towards God includes, but is not limited to, praying 5 times a day, every day and on time, fasting during the month of Ramadan, and professing the declaration of faith that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. The duty towards humanity includes giving charity regularly, paying the zakat when applicable, and living a life dedicated to the service of all humanity, Muslim or non-Muslim, believer or non-believer. In this tough economy, you better believe giving charity is a test of faith too. Anyone considering Islam should be ready to uphold both of these important commitments and to maintain balance between them. Picture them as 2 wheels on a cart. Remove one and you end up in circles without accomplishing much. Maintain both and your journey as a Muslim will take you far. Oh, and no more alcohol and no more pork. This is more difficult for some than others, but nonetheless is an important part of Islam's dietary guidance. 4. Do my heart and mind meet? And finally, this has to be a yes. A few months back, Mariam called me in a rage. I've got to ask you a question, and if the answer is the nonsensical one I got from this imam at this mosque I just left, I don't know if Islam is the right faith for me. I smiled. Her personal experience was affording her the benefit of practical study, not just theory from some hypothetical scenario. Here's the bottom line. Islam rejects the notion that religion and science conflict. The Quran declares, "Who has created 7 heavens in harmony? No incongruity canst thou see in the creation of the gracious God. Then look again. Seest thou any flaw?" Islam teaches that religion is God's word and science is God's works. God's word and God's works should not ever conflict. Likewise, know that no shortage of anti-Islam critics exist to make you second-guess and doubt your decision. The best weapon to combat ignorance and intolerance of Islam is education. So educate yourself as much as possible by studying the Quran, Hadith, and classical Islamic scholars. May Allah bless you all on your journey, accept your prayers, and guide you to the path He deems best.